Okay na. Yan. Yan. Sige lang, pipicture ako lang. Ako parehas lang.
Try mo tumayo doon sa Edson eh. Sa gitna.
Ikaw modelo, Brad eh.
Sir, try mo tumayo. Para malaman.
Ina mo.
Punta ka doon sa gitna sir, tapos tinitik namin kung ano
Ako parehas lang. Pag hindi, babaguhin lahat doon. Ay, wala ganun. Hindi parehas. Message mo na to. Sa lahat ng naman ng source yan, hindi naman sa TV. Sa lahat yan. Ng source nga, hindi TV Malalata, hindi na din. Wala ba yan? Nyo lang? Wala eh. Ito yung nasa gitna niya. Kaya na, naka-live. Sige, sige.
tama lang sir. Yung projector.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good evening. Say hi, nice to some of you. Hello, how are you guys doing? All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. So, what is this occasion all about? Do you have an idea? Okay, so for many years, we've been searching for the path to create a culture that is uniquely in the micro. We search for various ways on how to enable our people to enjoy and take pride in being part of the company. For us to be part of a high performing team that is happy and productive. That search has come to an end as we finally unveil today our new commitment to create workplace excellence, our human capital strategy called I Am Engage. I Am Engage is also part of our long-term and mid-term strategy to become a high-performing global business services. We'd like to tell more about our I Am Engage strategy, but let's save all the exciting stuff for later's main event. The main event will be here and will be broadcasted across all the floors. Now, what's in store for us in this event? First, we'll learn more about I Am Engage, the Global Business Services Manila Human Capital Strategy. There will be games and prizes, so definitely worth your time. You may win some prizes later. And of course, there will be some snacks after the main event. Okay? So, let's get right into it. First, I'd like to call on the leaders who will introduce the engagers from the different towers, from the different groups. Okay? I will start off by calling, are they here yet? I'll call Mike Huang first to introduce the engager for business operations. So Mike, let's take this opportunity to also tell them about you first before you talk about the
Hello, good morning everyone. I'm Michael Wang under Martican, also IB. five teams of developers, so we're the ones who create the portals that you use. So if you have issues, so regarding our champions, so for business operations, we want to introduce. Uh, the first one is Joey Jacinto for career growth and development. And then Shai Caltron, rewards and recognition from our purchasing. And then we have Josh Rago, diversity and inclusion, our IS. We also have Anna Legaspi, health and wellness. We Arjun Lerit for organizational governance. You know Arjun. Then for corporate citizenship, it's Derek Sabonga.
Thank you, Mike. Next, let me call on Roselle to introduce our champion from controllership. Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Roselle Hernandez from controllership and the finance supervisor, and I'm here to introduce to you our champions. So let me start from the career growth and development. We have Sheila Manyala. Can you please stand and give them away? And then we have Melanie Del Monte for rewards and recognition. And then Anime Aprovechar for diversity and inclusion. And Marvin Dichoso for health and wellness. And then Jonathan Bandit for organizational governance. And then the last one, we have Sharon Pinilla for corporate citizenship. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's move on to Michi to introduce our champions from HR.
Okay, so good morning, guys. I think I know ko most of the people here, most especially na I met personally with the champions na assign, nag-volunteer. Okay, so for HR, by the way, my name is Michi pala. Michi Mariano, I handle engagement and communication, so all the fun stuff and everything. I help lead them, so I'm not the one talaga na 100%. So that's a collaboration among different teams. But anyway, just to introduce the HR engagement champions, let me call on for career growth and development. That's none other than si Faye Ladia, of course. And then we have wala dito si si Health and Wellness, si Claudine Borromeo. So nasa baba sila. Okay, and then for rewards and recognition, that would be Ivy Ladrito. Okay. Ang ating mga binibini from HR services. And then we have Justin Ramirez, who handles the corporate citizenship. They're from recruitment. Is Justin here? Justin? Okay, and then lastly, for diversity and inclusion, we have TAC. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Michi. All right. This time, I'd like to call a group. I'd like to call the SBO managers to introduce the engagement champions from SBO.
Hi everyone, I'm Janine. I'm the operations manager for CLS, or Commerce and Lifecycle Solutions under SPO. So our representative for order management, or CLS group, actually is Noah Tabo. Noah, please stand up. Noah has been here for the company for about 2 years now, and he's representing health and wellness. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. I'm Katrina Awing, and I'm representing PLG, or Partners Licensing Group. And in our group, we would like to introduce our most beautiful representative or champion for rewards and recognition, I'd like to call on Justin Felipe. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Don, and I am the operations manager for SMB. And for SMB, we have Ray Sibilio. He's for organizational governance. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tish. I'm from IM Services. Let's give it up for Alvin, our representative for diversity and inclusion, and of course, Adrian Babista for health and wellness. Good morning, guys. I'm Aline Jones from Global Business Operations, and for our team, we have Christian Fernandez, championing growth and development.
Hello everyone. So for our group, which is the committee, I would like to introduce to you Elizabeth Espartero. Alright, thank you. Thank you guys. So what is the responsibility of these engagement champions? So these are the people that will ensure that the engagement strategy will be successfully implemented, not just for our tower, but also for enterprise-wide efforts. So you met who they are. So you know who are the people that will be working with HR to ensure that these engagement strategies are delivered. Okay? Now, let's do some games. Okay? So I will hand it over to Dawn and Roselle to facilitate a game for everyone. Okay? Thank you guys.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Yeah, good morning again.
Yeah, good morning again.
So I hope you guys received the emails from the engagement, right? From the previous days about the teasers. So yeah, our questions is about that one. I hope you read it. So
I'm sure you read it. And well, the prizes are just for everyone's of course knowledge is gonna be 3 caps and 3 tote bags, courtesy of I Am Engaged program. Okay. And to help us validate the answers for the questions, we have our DTI representative, engagement manager, Richie. Sorry, sir, if you don't mind, we'll put you on the spot. Well, the engagement team has been sending teaser announcements of each engagement drivers and the programs that will be implemented per driver. So the mechanics are simple. We just needed associates who will be able to give us a program anchored on the engagement driver as communicated by our engagement and comms team. All right? Yep. Pretty clear?
yeah.
Okay, then let's
Understand,
start.
guys?
Yeah.
So I'll just give you the first question. Give me one program under the corporate citizenship. I need 2 answers for this one. The one tote bag and 1 cup.
Right.
Anyone?
Yep.
What's your name, Mom? LJ.
Okay. LJ from SMB.
Michi? Birds is correct. Which one do you want?
Congratulations. Oh, she chooses the tote bag.
Yeah,
That's not surprising.
Yeah, and another one. Yeah, another one for corporate citizenship program.
Yeah.
Aside from birds.
Okay.
Yeah, another one for SMB.
Another one from SMB. Wow. Social Union represent.
Hope.
Hope.
Hope, Michi.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations, guys. Okay, so we move on. We're gonna raffle another pair, right?
Yeah, another
Okay.
pair. I think you did that.
All right, perfect. Okay, this time, give us a program under health and wellness. So that's 2 winners,
Yeah,
right?
same thing.
Under health and wellness. Anyone?
One program under health and wellness.
Okay, Marvin.
And that's fine. That's my boy.
There you go.
Ingram Micro Clubs.
Indoor Micro Club.
Michi.
All right, congratulations, sir. Thank you. Marvin, thank you.
Another one for
Another-
health and wellness program.
Yep. Don't be shy, guys. Come on, let's see those hands. Come on. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful tote bag up for grabs, right?
Another one.
Oh, do I see Anyone from the IM services crew? No? Suddenly became shy. How about the rest of the guys from Albi? Are you raising your hand? No, 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 of course, okay. Okay. Okay, anyone? And the next one, if we don't, we'll probably will have a voluntold, um, I don't know, just for drasticness or whatever. Anyone, guys? Okay, Tin from SMB. Okay.
Okay, from SMB, HMO and cleaning services.
All right, you got it, you got it. Congratulations. Thank you.
And then the last question that we have is one program or two programs under organizational governance. We have 2 leaders again for this
Yep,
one.
the last piece is, and, we better make this count. One cap and one, okay. Ready? Raising your hand. Thank you. Sorry.
Internal communication.
Internal communication. All right. Thank you. Congratulations. Which one do you prefer? Oh, the cap. Thank you. She prefers the cap. Okay, good.
Okay, the last one for one program again for organizational governance.
Okay, we got one right here. IM services. Here you go. Sorry, what's your name, darling?
Rhea.
All right.
Ignite. Ignite.
Ignite.
Ignite.
All right.
Congratulations.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think we're done with the games. Mechi?
Yeah. Congratulations to the winners.
Okay, so at least you guys already have a few ideas about what the engagement drivers are all about, no? Later, you'll find out more once we have the panel discussion as led by yours truly, that your executive leaders, Matt, of course, and Dindo, will be there to discuss them in detail. So there are lots of programs and initiatives for the next 3 years. As we also, as Maan mentioned earlier, it's in preparation for our transition to becoming a global business services. So have you heard of that? Of us becoming a global business services? It's communicated in one of Yana's announcement, I think, no? So we'll find out more about that. But I guess just to also give you just to hype things up and probably get insights from you guys. So I have a few questions. No?
Yeah, I'll be your satellite. So, wherever. Yeah.
And also for the champion, sorry, medyo na-late yung shirt natin, no? So, later, we'll distribute them, yes. Okay, so, fire away, Don, anong questions natin dyan about engagement?
Well, quite simply, of course, we're here this morning to just launch and engage. And probably the best question to ask is, how much do they actually, how much are they actually supported before I'm engaged? So, can I ask you that question? I'm sorry. Yeah, the question is, of course, I am engaged is going to be set up for our career growth and development. Okay, let me rephrase that. Do you think this will help you in the long run with, career progression?
Yes, of course. Because through IMKH, we're having a lot of, for example, trainings right now. So through IMKH, more IMs in-ground associates will learn more about the practices and how to engage with other people.
Thank you. That's important. Thank you.
Very proud of
Very proud of right here. Okay. How about on your side, sir? Do you have anyone there? Okay.
Ito, I think medyo sila, ready sila.
Yeah. Go forward. And it's just, we have Mark Bacalia. Well, actually, it's the same question, Mark. Do you think the iEngage program will help you develop your career progressively, in short-term or long-term pace?
Yes, of course. Because to begin with, the program aims to us to have like an environment. So making that one environment makes the workers or employees love their job. In that way, we can perform well and we can do our best. answer.
Amazing answer. Thank you very much.
Sabi ko sa iyo, prepared sila, no?
I think they are, yeah.
Okay, so how about other people? What are you most excited about this I Am Engaged?
Let me go to this area right here and
Silipin mo.
pick my home team lead. Pinita Mayosa, ladies and gentlemen.
I think what I'm most excited about I Am Engage is that it's finally being communicated across the organization that we have a team that is dedicated for associate engagement and to drive a culture of excellence across all associates, leaders, and all parts of the organization.
Yeah. Sabi nila, engagement, actually, the foundation of engagement is really the involvement of, all employees, all associates. So if we have that right structure, I'm sure we'll be successful. So
I agree.
other insights, feedback.
Other insights and feedback, anything that,
I think
would help our cause.
si Randy may...
Oh, Randy, yeah, of course. Hey, we didn't see you.
More HR, more than members. So, giving more health benefits to our employees. To, push our employees to work well and do that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's
I want a round of applause for Ran. Who probably, indirectly helped everyone here with regards to, benefits.
So, okay, I would also like to hear from our engagement champion. So, most especially now that we're starting them and we're hopefully will be successful in implementing them. So, let's hear from engagement champions. Dapat proactive ang engagement
Oh,
champions.
I think Alvis calling it a spade.
Albi, yes.
Here you go for it. All right.
Hello guys. I studied hard for this interview, but I'm not. No, as part of the engagement, I am engagement SBO champions for diversity and inclusion. No, I'm really excited for the programs that we have in store for everyone. Because actually we're gonna start it for tomorrow, the women empowerment. So I hope everyone, not just the women on the floor, but women at heart and the men will be able to attend tomorrow's speech by Tiffany Short. And Tiffany Short. Thank you.
I love it. Wow, woman at heart. All right.
Alright. So, as a champion for diversity and inclusion, I know I'm a platform small for the next
That's deep right now.
very senadora. Okay. What else? Sino bang champion ang may insight about? Dito naman sa side na to.
Katulad nga ng sinabi ko. There you go, Bobby. Yeah,
Salamat si Ma'am.
he's stepping up right now.
Alright,
Go, Bobby.
Okay, good morning everyone. As the SBO champion for health and wellness, of course, we are very excited for the upcoming BPO Olympics. It's really one of the highlights across BPOs in the metro, and including all the different sports like basketball, volleyball, even non-contact sports like chess, darts, and the like. We also have cheer dance as part of the BPO Olympics. So it's really more, for me as a leader, it's more on the collaboration of the different towers, tying up the different champions of the towers. That's what I'm really excited because as I started here with Ingram, that's one thing that I'm really looking forward, the engagement part of the company, because I really felt that even like every week or every day there's engagement in this company. So looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bobby. Ang galing ng poet ng answer.
Yeah, good answer.
Okay, so There's something I actually need to ask. I forgot. So we heard from Bobby, we heard from Alvi. Um, but also, since I'm here as the engagement manager and your leaders are also here, what is it that you'd like to see implemented for as part of the I am engaged? So this is the time for you guys kung may wish list kayo about your activities. This is the time. Sino merong suggestions? Something that you'd like to see as part of I am engaged platforms of activities.
Yeah, anything right off the bat, suggestions that, you may actually put forward. Since everyone is here with the I am engagement team.
And your I am engaged champions, right?
Yep, that's right.
Wala? Kahit isa? Parang feeling ko dito merong gusto nang sumagot.
Asan mismo?
Last na to, tapos mag-shift na tayo sa next part of the program.
Yeah.
Anong name mo, kuya?
Efren.
Go for it, man.
Yeah.
Anong ina-anticipate mo? Paano yung program sa Philippines?
For health and I think health like dance.
You're an answer.
No.
So he wants to dance and he wants to learn how to dance. But yeah, that's a good suggestion though. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Ang alam ko, meron tayong pa-Zumba. Care of our dance club. Okay, so let's, we only have like 10 minutes supposedly before we start the panel discussion with our executive leader. So before that, let me call on also our music club. They are part of they're part of the health and wellness engagement driver. So are they ready?
Yep.
Ayan sila.
Yeah, there they are. As they make their way, how about a round of applause for everyone who actually shared their answers and gamely we did our call kahit volunteered natin sila. Thank you so much, guys. Right. So yeah, as we
Guys, while we're waiting for them to get set up, I want to take this opportunity to introduce two members of our man call. First, we have John, our facilities manager. So you already know the face behind the name. And then we also have our purchasing manager, we have Tony. Welcome to the team. Look out the road, bakit mahirap sumabay sa agos ng iyong nagkakita. Simple lang naman sana ang buhay. Kung ika'y matino, sabihin sa'kin lahat ng hinihingi mo. Iingatan ko, ibalik sa'kin ang problema mo. Kakayanin mo. Tingin ka kung Tapos ko'y suot, nagdapalo. Simple ang naman sa buhay, kung ika'y tumayo. Sabihin sa akin lahat ng lihim mo, iingatan ko. Ibalik sa akin ang problema mo. Kakayanin ko. Sasamahan ka sa tamis, sasamahan ka sa dilim, sasamahan ka hanggang langit, sasamahan ka sa tamis, sasamahan ka sa kait, sasamahan ka sa dilim, sasamahan ka hanggang langit, sasamahan ka. Sabihin sa akin lahat ng lihim mo, iingatan ko. Ibalik sa akin lahat ng tema mo. Kakayanin.
If you know the song po, sabay po kayo sa akin.
If you wait till down, walk the fast, face back and look back. Starting back in your head, make it away to the ground. And I leave you, and I miss you, and now I wonder if I could fall into the sky. Do you think time will pass me by? 'Cause you know I walk 3,000 miles without just seeing you tonight. It's always times like this when you think of me, wondering if you ever think of me. Everything's so right, it's so long, it's the new precious memory. Sending you, and I miss you, and now I wonder if I could fall into the sky. Do you think time will pass me by? 'Cause you know I'm more than 1,000 miles out of the
to you. I don't want to let you know I try to remember it. I don't want to let this go. I don't. You let me down, walking fast, faces fast and me down. Sorry about the hands, making way through time. And I still need you, and I still miss you, and I wonder. If I could fall into the sky, do you think time would pass us by? If you know I walk 1,000 miles if I could just see you. Oh, if I could fall into the sky, do you think time would pass me by? If you know I'm walking 1,000 miles if I could just see you. If I could just hold you tonight. Thank you po.
Good morning. Oh, sorry. Hello? Hello, ayan. So, good morning, everyone! Eating breakfast. Good morning, everyone! Are you I am engaged today? Very good. So, we are now all set to actually launch and actually unveil all our engagement drivers. Would you want to know more about that? I'm sure you are. So, Mitchie, are we all set? But before I do that, again, that's all, all our leaders are here. They'll be the one to talk about the different engagement drivers. And so, I'm just waiting for a quick cue on, we're going to start? All right, so our first engagement driver is corporate citizenship. I know that we've talked about this several times already, and we just want to give you not just an overview, but really exactly what the programs under corporate citizenship are. So this is actually our commitment to sustainability and solidarity. And I have, so sorry about that. Before we actually do that, I'd like to call on Sam White, our HR director, to give us the formal opening remarks for this event. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Hey guys, how about you taking a seat? It's free admission, there's no charge. Come on, grab a seat, get comfortable. There's lots of seats up. Come and join me, I promise I won't spit or bite or anything, okay? All right, so we are broadcasting on all floors. So fourth floor. I know where is by the way, where is the camera? Where do I need to stand? Am I good? Okay. So fourth floor. Good morning to you. I hope everyone down on the fourth floor, if you're there, can hear us okay. Hopefully everything's going. We have ManCom members on all the floors. So good morning and thank you for joining. The next floor, 11, I think. Is it 11? 10 floor. Good morning to you. Hope you all are doing well. Also 14th floor. Hope you're doing well and are hearing everything. And then 15, well, we're all live, right? I'm getting the cue. Everybody's giving their cues. We're all live. So I'm very happy to be here today because you've heard pieces of this program, right? You've heard mentions of this probably by some of your leaders. You've heard some of the pieces and bits of the programs that we've already kind of like trickled out. But when I look at what we're doing with I Am Engaged, with our Horizon 2020 strategic direction for our 3-year plan. So in Manila, of course, we came up with the Horizon 2020 brand for our 3-year strategic model, right? And that Horizon 2020 has now been adopted by the new Global Business Services Organization. And part of that is the human capital strategy. And who, can you guess, is, when we talk about the human capital strategy, who do you think we're talking about? Us, right? All of you, all of us, right? So everything about the human capital strategy is trying to build a great place to work. You know, a place that our employees can feel proud, they can feel engaged, and they can feel that they belong to part of the organization. I Am Engaged is the hallmark or the cornerstone foundational element of the human capital strategy. Because whatever we do when it comes to human capital fits into some type of dimension or driver that allows us to be able to make sure that you, the associate, feel that engagement, that loyalty, that pride, that support, okay? So we're very happy to launch this. This is the first official launch of the Horizon 2020 strategy. And along with myself and the leaders, we're going to walk you through it and make sure that you understand what it is. Before I get into some of the details around why we're doing this, part of this launch and part of the program is to help you with re-education and awareness of what engagement really is. We hear that word a lot, right? You've heard it in many companies, probably before Ingram Micro as well. But sometimes we lose track of what it truly means, okay? So I did a study in the industry about 3 years ago with, gosh, I think it was over 100,000 respondents from different companies, asking what was engagement? What did it mean to them? And 83% of all the respondents named elements such as pizza party, year-end party, Halloween, cupcakes, donuts at work, things like that. Which that's part of engagement, right? But that's not the full meaning of what engagement is, right? It's not just about the year-end party. It's not just about the family day. It's not just about bringing pizza into the office. Because if that was it, it's very superficial and we're not doing what we need to do to take care of you. So engagement means much, much more. Would you agree with that? And so when you think about engagement, when we do our surveys every, 2 years, right, our breakthroughs, we're going to start doing pulse surveys, which we'll talk about later. We want you to have the full mindset with I Am Engaged of what is engagement strategy, right? What are all the drivers and the programs and the elements of engagement, okay? So by having this official launch, this allows us the chance to make sure that we're putting things in the right perspective and we're branding them, okay? So how many of you have seen the logos, the I Am Engaged key, right? Pretty fancy, right? So the engagement team has worked hard to work with me on this and trying to build a branding campaign or logo, because anything that we do in the name of engagement and the 6 engagement drivers, We want that to be very visible to you so that you connect with it, so it becomes part of us, right? And the 6 engagement drivers, we want to make sure that you associate with those. So I don't know if you noticed in the beginning the morphing of the key. So we have the main key, which you see here on the boards. But then if it's a specific driver, it morphs into a different color, right? And the name of that driver will show up on that key as well. And you'll see that as we go through the presentation. But that's going to be consistent. That'll be in our communications, it'll be around our events, it'll be around some of our programs as well. So we have lots of cool stuff. I hope you're ready. Everyone had their breakfast and their coffee, ready to absorb a lot of information in a very short period of time, right? So can I ask everyone on all the floors, just for 5 seconds, just stand up, do a quick morning stretch. All right, do a quick morning stretch, just kind of. All right, and then let's look to the person next to you and ask that person, I am engaged, are you? And then look to the person on the opposite side of you and tell them, if I am not engaged, I soon will be. If I am not engaged, I soon will be after this, right? Okay. Everyone stretched out? Ready to go? Can I hear a heck yes? All right, everybody sit down, let's get started. So, we talked a little bit about setting up what is an employee engagement. So we want to make sure that everyone understands that employee engagement to us means so much more, it's so much deeper than some of the superficial things we typically tag to it. And we want to make sure engagement is a true cultural definer, right? So one of the things when I started, it feels like a long time ago, but it was just last June. One of the things that I mentioned to Junar and my fellow Exicom members is I don't get a sense of Ingram Micro Philippines culture, right? And I don't think that that's anyone's fault because the way that we were formed, right? We come together very kind of over a period of time in kind of disjointed manner, a lot of lift and shift methodology. Even little things like floors became barriers to us, right? And so it did not feel that we had one united culture, right? As an outsider coming in. And so one of the things that we've been trying to work on since I started was how do we work the human capital strategy to build in an engagement model that really redefines and restructures and reshapes what our culture is, right? And how do we live up to that culture through our values and through our different engagement drivers. As an associate or from an employee engagement, next slide. As an associate, what employee engagement does for you, it gives you a deeper sense of purpose, right? You understand how you belong. It provides you understanding what your role is in the organization. An engaged employee is someone who knows not only what the company is and what we're about, but what I do as a person matters and how I affect the bigger outcome of the company. It's about being included fully as a member of the team. We should never have a situation under our human capital strategy and through our engagement model where people feel that they're left out, right? The haves and the have-nots, right? We should all be haves. We should all be making sure that things we're doing is equally available to all associates and that everybody feels represented. That's part of my job, is to make sure that you feel that you're included and that you don't feel that you're separated from the organization. It's about having strong and authentic values with clear trust and fairness and equality of an organization. It's also about positive attitudes and behaviors that tend to, in the end, leads to great business outcomes and processes and overall performance. It's about feeling pride and loyalty. I'll do a quick segue. One of the things we hope that if everything goes well this week, the new 12th floor is going to open. If you remember being hired on the 12th floor, most of you, right? Kind of not so great of a first experience, right? I told many people that when I first came into the 12th floor, when I came to an interview with Junar, I'm like, oh, well, lot to be done here, right? It was like, I'm already here, might as well go ahead with the meeting, right? So that's completely changed. Next week, I hope that you will come to the 12th floor. Just stop by and just take a look. Now it feels like a Fortune 100 company, okay? So the 12th floor, HR will be moving there. So we're there to support you all on the 12th floor. And what our candidates will experience now is walking into a Fortune 100 company, right? Not ugly red couches with hairs and doors into interview rooms that don't open until you trip over cords, and they don't open because you bumps into tables because the furniture is too oversized. Lots of branding, lots of color. I always say it's kind of like the old 12th floor. It's like walking into like the LTO office, right? So dim lighting, everything's beige and gray and concrete and very bad lighting. So it's kind of like the dungeon of the LTO, right? So now it looks much more energetic and inspiring. So if you have time next week, just drop by and see us on the 12th floor and look at what our new employees will experience in the new Career Hub. But that sense of pride and loyalty, we need to make sure not only is there in our facilities, but in our programs, in our engagement strategy, and in everything we do. It's about drawing on employee knowledge and ideas to improve our overall products, our services, and our impact, not only to our external clients, but even our internal clients and the value that we add to the organization. It's about drawing out a deeper commitment from our employees, from our leaders, and from the organization overall. And it's about an organization's actions that are consistent with its values. Would you agree with that? That's important, right? That we do what we say, and we are who we represent ourselves to be, okay? What happens when we are disengaged is we lose people. We have people that are not there. We feel people that feel left out. We have people that it doesn't matter if I come to work, because I really don't know how I'm affecting, and I don't feel like I'm being affected by the organization as well. So there's some stats up here on the screen that if an engaged workforce or an engaged employee is 17% more productive, they're 20% more profitable, reference to the services they provide to the organization. And then when they're not engaged, how much that costs the organization. That's either through people leaving, which we don't want people to leave. We want them to have nice long careers at Ingram Micro. So whether you're leaving or you're just not performing because you just don't feel like you matter, right? All of that is a big deterrent to the organization. On the next slide, we show that, so based upon studies in US and then compared to Asia Pacific, we do have better engagement levels in Asia Pacific region. In fact, Philippines, on average, 36% of the population within the workforce is typically engaged. And you can see that because when you look at some of the engagement activities that we do compared to other countries, they don't have robust programs like we do, right? Filipinos, and I've been here for 11 years, so I'm saying Filipinos, including me, we like that type of strategy. We like those types of events. We like those activities. And we like having people owning engagement as a core business principle, right? Because if it's not owned, it typically doesn't get done, right? So that's why we like those types of programs. And finally, when we focus on our engagement, it is a differentiator within our competitors. So when our employees do get tapped from time to time, when they do get the call from other friends and say, hey, what about this company over here? They use that and can use that as a differentiator within the market to say, wow, I have these types of programs, this type of support, this type of engagement level here. why would I want to leave that? It becomes a huge differentiator from an employment perspective and from a competitive nature with other companies. And we use that to create and build a workplace excellence mentality to better everything that we need to do. Okay? So, today, what you're going to hear about is the true I Am Engaged model and strategy. So the I Am Engaged model, which is now the new branded term, this is the logo that you're going to see from now on, as I mentioned earlier, and it does morph into different colors and variations based upon the engagement drivers. There are 6 engagement drivers that we're going to be thoroughly reviewing with you today. We're going to talk about what those engagement drivers are, why they're important, and we're going to talk about how different types of programs, activities, events map into those. Now, you're not going to get all of them because we'll be here for 4 or 5 hours, but we will highlight some key things, and there's so many more tools that are coming. Note that everything you hear today is not ready when you walk out this door. Remember, it's a 3-year strategy, okay? But there is a lot that we're talking about today that's either readily available now or will soon be available, and we'll kind of talk about dates and answer questions that you may have around some of the programs. So let's talk about the 6 engagement drivers. So as you see them here, the color also means something, okay? So these color schemes will stay the same. It's not just a random graph on a slide. So as you see in the room, the banners, as you see the logo change as you go into each one of the drivers, each one of those means something, and it will become more available to you and more realized as we go through the program. Rewards and recognition is a critical driver. It's driver number 1. That is our commitment to perform and inspire. Number 2 is corporate citizenship, which is our commitment to sustainability and solidarity as an organization and giving back as an organization to the greater good. Organizational governance, that one sounds kind of boring. It's like governance, right? Sounds like rules and policies and things. It's not about that necessarily. And June is going to talk about that later because it means so much more than what you typically think of as governance means, rules and policies and guidelines. It's about connectedness, right? It's about making sure we all are aware of things like such as benefits programs, that we all know the details, that we all know, things around financial practices and processes, that we all understand payroll processes and things like that. So we can understand it, therefore we know how it relates to us. But it is our commitment to purpose and excellence. Diversity and inclusion, I'm so happy about, because one of the things that I noticed when I joined is we really do not have a D&I strategy at Ingram Micro, Philippines, right? So today will be the official launch of the engagement driver of diversity and inclusion, which is our commitment to openness, freedom, and its corresponding demand of integrity and responsibility. Next is health and wellness, which we do a lot of work around, but we're going to be doing so much more as part of I Am Engaged, which is our commitment to higher potential of function and happiness. And last, but definitely not least, things that you see ongoing that we're going to continue to grow and develop as an organization is career growth and development. And that is our commitment to professionalism and world-class service. Okay? Does that sound interesting? Right? You have them all memorized? Don't worry, you'll see them enough, you don't have to memorize it. On the next slide, if you take a look at this and look at a full picture, and there's not enough room on the slide to contain it all, so there's just examples. What you have here is I Am Engaged as a snapshot. So in the center of the 6 drivers is our culture and our brand, right? That's what will now define us. This strategy will help us define our culture, reshape, and make sure that we know exactly who we are as Ingram Micro, and especially Ingram Micro Philippines or Manila, as we support global business services. Okay? As you look at the outlier of the circle, these are different programs, events, activities, other types of things that support all of these drivers. And this is how they're going to be categorized and communicated. What we will do is every 2 years, as we do our breakthrough engagement surveys, we'll take feedback from you guys. We'll look at how they're trending with these 6 engagement drivers, and that will help shape the programs that we're sponsoring around those drivers every 2 years. But also, we're going to not just do this every 2 years. We're going to start doing quarterly pulse surveys, just quick pulse surveys to see how are we doing in these areas, right? So we can get feedback within the years between the breakthrough surveys. We're also have a new tool, an online tool for exit surveys for people that do exit to collect that information in a more analytical manner. So we can say, why are people leaving and how does this affect our I Am Engaged human capital strategy? In addition, we'll take information from focus groups, from skip levels, and from all other types of sources, engagement activities, feedback, etc. And this will be while the structure and the drivers will maintain, the programs and how we're supporting those drivers will change based upon your feedback, what you think is important, and how you're feeling as an engaged or disengaged workforce. And then in the end, hopefully, it'll take time, but in a year or so, we will have what truly is our brand and our culture. And this is something that we will hope through this I'm Engaged strategy that you, our associates, our leaders, will be our brand ambassadors and our cultural ambassadors. So you're the ones who will carry this forward. Bring it to the new people that join us to make sure that they feel engaged and they're part of something bigger, okay? Before we get into the final, or the initial presentations of the different drivers, we also want to make sure that you understand that you do play a huge part in this. What you say, right? How you stay with the company, how you strive for excellence, all determines the business outcomes and the success of the strategy. So this is not just something that we're going to launch and say, hey, now do this. We need your feedback. We need your engagement. We need your participation to make sure that what we're doing is on target. When I talk to my team, I talk about moving the needle, right? We can't move the needle without your feedback, okay? So as we go through the next stages, the next several months, the next years, we hope that you will be participative in this strategy and in this program. Embedding the engagement strategy and I'm engaged into our DNA is also critical. It starts at the leadership level. It has to be represented there. We have full support from Exicom, of course, which I'm a member of, and we have full support from Mancom, and we hope to have support from all levels of leadership and associates as we roll this out and become more ingrained in our culture. It's part of every business function. There's not a engagement strategy for SBO and one for GTM, one for IS or whatever. It's all inclusive. So we're all working toward the same target and toward the same goal, and it's incorporated in every single function that we do. And we have now formalized the Engagers Committee, the champions for all the different engagement drivers and the sub chapters. We have representation from every single business unit in the Engagers. So I'll take 1 second. If you're a member, either a champion or an Engager member, can you stand up in your respective rooms or floors? Anyone in this room, 15th floor, who's a member of Engagers or again? All right. And all the other 4 floors, I want you to take a look around. These are the people that will help us drive this strategy and make this real. So I want to give you a warm applause. Thank you for all that you have done so far in getting started and for all that you will be doing for us going forward. Now, without further ado, I would like to hand it over to the presenter of our first engagement driver, which is corporate social responsibility, okay? Or corporate citizenship, sorry. Corporate citizenship, I'd like to call AJ Enriquez to the front, our director for Global IS. AJ, thank you so much. I look 10, right? I look 10. So IS had a real rough night, right? They had a critical incident. I think you guys were on calls off and on. So I really appreciate you being here. So I know you guys had a rough night. So all the people in IS that were on calls, thank you for either participating, and thank you, James and AJ, for everything you do to keep us open and alive, right? And keep us functioning. But thank you for here today.
Anytime. Like go up. So yeah, we have a little excitement, but we have a full course. I think you're seeing us at the fourth floor, and I know people are busy eating there. So the folks at the fourth floor who are in the call with us, thank you for all you do. This is very important. So despite, and James is coming, despite our late night. So when I started the call last night, I didn't have a beard, and the call just went on and on. So first, and then I think, and I really appreciate that I was given the opportunity to represent corporate citizenship. This is one area that I feel most passionate about. I mean, of all the engagement drivers, obviously rewards and recognition, all the others are very important. But I think this is one that, again, I think we should all take a lot of pride on. And Mitchie, if you can. Sorry, Mitch, I didn't read your. So there are three, again, like Sam said, this is the 3-year goal. We're going to look at this as not everything will happen in 3 years, and hopefully, again, it's about our commitment to sustainability and solidarity. And sustainability, not just within the Ingram micro environment, but within the environment. Yes, that gear is bad for my forehead, actually. Thank you for killing that. So it's about promoting social responsibility through sustainability through CSR. So CSR, somebody was asking me earlier, it's corporate social responsibility, or our way to give back to our community. And this is one of the areas that I think, what I take a lot of pride in Ingram Micro is when we get people together, whether it's to help or to donate, we're quick to respond, very responsive. Embedding Ingram Micro, I heard Sam talk about this earlier, embedding Ingram Micro vision, mission, and values in our culture and our DNA. It's about our values, that people should see that we should live that in our day-to-day, in our DNA. And promote corporate pride. Now, I know it's one thing to wear a lanyard, but it's promoting that lanyard and wearing it with a lot of pride. Develop ties to institutions. If you go to the next slide, and this is some of the things that our friends from HR have been working on. I will touch on hope last, but fun at work. These are our monthly activities. We do a great job. Whether we have enough singers in the company, so it's easy to have fun at work, and people leadership willing to dance and look silly like me. So it's very easy to have fun at work. Continuing education program, this is something that's very important in our commitment to learning. And I know some of you are already enrolled in the education program, but this is something that we should all take a lot of pride in. It's our commitment to developing. We have an excellent training program, but it's really taking it outside of what we have and looking at institutions and partnering with institutions for our continuous learning. Perks, I hope you all enjoyed the spa discount. I can't remember a lot of discounts coming here. I know my friend. So again, this is a lot's in store. Our HR team is working with the different institutions. If you see it, you have the 15th floor. There's concessionaires coming in. So the perks program is something that's ongoing. So my ask is you give feedback, right? I know we look at those are most interesting to our employees. So I asked on the perks program, this is your opportunity to be heard. And if you want certain partnership, please give them feedback. I know Bindo connected us with Elorde. So these are the type of things that if you're interested in and relevant to you, please challenge us and we'll try to connect somehow and make them part of our perks. All Stars is about, I don't know if you all know about All Stars program. So All Stars is our select individual, and what they are is, they embody the Ingram Micro values and culture. So when we have, when we go to universities, these are the people that we bring with us and talk to the university. So hopefully they're graduates of those universities. But again, I encourage all of you that it's we're working and we're doing a great job for our vendors, our customers, but this is our opportunity to give back. And being an all-star is not just about getting a nice T-shirt, but also spending your time and giving back your time to help promote the brand, but also help like students, for example. And Talent League, proud to say, like within a year, our employee referral program increased more than 100% within IS. And those are the type of stories that, from a talent lead perspective, we would rather pay the associates referral programs than paying an external company, an external party. So again, friends, your friends, families, I don't think we have a strict rules about family members joining. I know some of you are cross-pollinating within Ingram Micro, and that's not a bad thing. It speaks of retention. But again, whether it's a friend, a family, or even an enemy, bring them in. And it's the best way to promote our brand to our associates. So lastly, Mitchie, hope. Again, this is one area that, over the last year I've been most proud of Ingram Micro. The last one was Albay, we did the Marawi. It's our demonstration that we're willing to give back to our community. And this is something that you should all be proud of. We're not a big company, but if you look at the amount of people that get together, I know during the Christmas there were even teams, like I know IS did a program where they went out to the community and started giving gift baskets. So I know we do a lot, but now it's centered around a program called Hope. So I want to see more volunteer, and I committed to I will volunteer and champion this through the year, in this year and in the years to come. So I encourage all of you, to give back to our community through I Am Hope. So again, these are the 3-year program. A lot of it is happening today. Thank you to our friends from HR. But it's important to me because it's how the industry looks at us, right? We partner with so many schools, with institutions. I know I was talking to Anna yesterday, and we're partnering with IDPAP, the industry. So it's how other companies view us. It's also, our opportunity to give back to the community, helping others, giving our time and efforts. But ultimately, I think what's important here is how we view ourselves as an organization, as a company. And that's why it's centered around people, it's centered around all of us. It's you that's really important in corporate citizenship, and you who will drive these programs. The money is one thing that will come from the pockets of Ingram Micro, but it's the effort, it's the time of our people, and it's our ability to give back. So again, I really encourage all of you to join and support the programs around all of the 6 drivers. So thank you. Who's next? Man will talk about career growth. Man, I don't know how you will get up here.
I can do it.
Oh yeah, you have long legs, so like June, good luck to us.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, AJ. Okay, so I don't know how Sam and Richie decided upon who will cover what topic, but
I'm so thankful that this got assigned to me because this is really very close to my heart. I take so much pride in being part of an organization that takes growth and development and learning very seriously. I think my journey, my career journey is a very good example of where, of not having a lot of opportunities to learn. While the growth came, the opportunity to be prepared for the role didn't really come along with growth. So I found myself in the past being in a role, being moved to a role, and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? It's just being, because the organization that I've been part of in the past grew very rapidly, so the focus was a lot about growing, acquiring more business, getting more customers, but not so much on preparation or learning and development. And one of the biggest misconceptions is that if you're an expert in the job, if you're an expert in the process, then you are the best candidate to be a leader in that process. But the reality is there's a lot of readiness that is required for us to move to a leadership role. There's a lot of emotional readiness, there's a lot of intellectual readiness, there's a lot of physical readiness even, the way you carry yourself to be able to lead effectively. So I'm so thankful that this organization focuses a lot in this. This involves a lot of effort, this involves a lot of money. And so we are all blessed that we are able to utilize these resources in the organization. So our growth and development programs are anchored on our commitment to professionalism and world-class service. In the next 3 years, our aims are to provide employees at all stages of work experience with access to skill development, training, and apprenticeship, and opportunities for career advancement. We also aim to partner with business leaders in driving effective programs which are necessary for job excellence, career progression, and business profitability. Now, we're all aware that we won't be able to provide career growth or a promotion to everyone at the same time, right? It's not something that we can provide 2,000 people all at the same time. But also, we have to be mindful that career growth is not just all about moving to another title, moving a title up or 2 titles up. Nowadays, career growth is also about learning new things, learning more competencies, adding skills in your credentials, because really, growth is not just about the money in the title. When you acquire more credentials, more skills, more learning, you grow as a professional, you grow as an individual. All right? Next slide. So I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to cover all of them, especially since some of these are already familiar to you guys. So these are the programs and the activities that we have under career growth and development. First, we have Associate Core Development Program. This is something that's already ongoing. So after an associate finishes his or her probationary period, as you know, there are classroom training programs that we offer to our associates, right? So after they receive the guidance support from their senior team members or team leaders to be able to complete that probationary program, we are offering them face-to-face, in a face-to-face learning environment, which is a result of a training needs analysis, different programs that will help them to be better at the work that they do and really be a better professional in the organization as well. Over the past 6 months, 755 associates have completed at least one course. So we can definitely do a much better job at sending our associates to these programs so we can fully leverage the learning that are available to us. Next, we have the Emerging Leaders Program. Have you heard of this program? And hopefully, your leaders have sent you or your team members to the program already. So strengthening the bench of leaders within the organization is another top priority for us. The need to identify the top performing and high potential associates and guiding them through a path that will allow them to function more effectively as high impact individual contributors within the matrices of their processes, or growing them into the future team leaders of GSS Manila, took front and center through this program. So this program focuses on the refinement of personal leadership, which is in Module 1. We also cover ensuring that the leaders are equipped with the knowledge to handle responsibilities and leading the team throughout our associate life cycle through the second module, which is making the transition.
First Step to Leadership. This is something that we also launched last year. Who among you guys have been able to attend this program yet? FSTL. You have? Okay. So last year, we really wanted to ensure that we have kind of benchmarked the standard leadership competencies and skills that we want to have for our team leaders. So that's why this is something that we started last year, and we will continue on for the next 3 years as well. Next, we have higher grade. Who among you guys have attended the higher grade training here? Okay, did you learn a lot from it? So really, the higher grade training, this is something that Exicom Mancom attended as well. It really gives us kind of the science behind conducting the interview to make sure there is a process, there is kind of governance being followed in conducting these interviews to ensure that we hire the right people for our organization. Next, we have, what else? Accelerate. Who among you guys have been to our Accelerate site yet? Hopefully everyone. Okay, so learning is one of our core values at Ingram Micro, and we want to empower everyone to own and manage their professional development journey by a learning platform and, of course, the quality content that's in it. Accelerate provides on-demand access 24/7 to learning content in one central location. Next, we have competency mapping. So this is something that we've already done or is ongoing in GIS. So by bringing the tower or process leaders together and leveraging the common language provided by Korn Ferry, who partnered with us to develop the higher grade process, we were able to refine the generic performance that were initially offered with the introduction of that processes. So over the last 4 months, we've been working, or HR have been working with the local leaders in GIS to identify the ideal competency profiles for each of the roles and grade levels in the teams. Once the competency profiles are complete, it will take us one step closer to having a full map of competencies in Ingram Micro GSS Manila, therefore making it easier for us to really identify where these talents exist in the organization and not really needing to hire externally anymore, so that internal growth then becomes available to more people. This is something that we've already started looking at for core operations as well. So Gail is leading the discussions for this, and your operations managers have been involved as well. And then last but not the least, we have the career navigation site. So this is something that's more of a coming soon project, potentially in 2019 or 2028. So for the career navigation site, what it will do is, based on your current role, it will show you where you are in the Ingram Micro Job Family Matrix and your current performance measures, and it will show the framework toward advancement in new career areas. So for example, those are the list of jobs that matches your desired career path. And these are the development programs that are available, and it will also show you here your current role, your current skills and competency levels and performance measures. This way, you kind of get a guidance on what you need to complete, what you need to accomplish to be able to be qualified for the next role that you're aiming for. All right? Of course, just like any other program or initiative, it will only be effective if we utilize it. So all of these things are available or will be available to us. Like I said earlier, there is investment that's being made for these programs. So I hope that we actually take the time to use them and promote them to our associates and team leads as well. All right? Thank you.
Thank you, Mon. So in regards to, it is a big step, AJ. In regards to the next driver, this is a new one for us, right? So we talked about diversity, but we've never really had a formal diversity and inclusion strategy and model for Philippines with some meat around it and some programs and some effort around it. So I'm happy to announce that today we are officially launching our engagement driver for diversity and inclusion, which is long overdue. So can I get an applause for that? Thank you. So next slide. So diversity and inclusion driver is our commitment to openness and freedom and its corresponding demands of integrity and responsibilities. When we look at our 3-year strategy and our model, we want to make sure we're promoting a diverse and inclusive workforce in order to achieve our overall business results. We also want to make sure that we're creating a global business services organization that promotes a culture of inclusion where everyone feels respected, they feel treated fairly and equally, and we have good work-life balance and excel in our chosen careers and our opportunities for careers. We have done significant things, so I don't want to just discount that we've not done anything. Hire Great is a strong inhibitor for diversity and inclusion because it takes out the subjective nature of hiring, right? And brings it back to its core elements and skill sets and competencies and takes the lens of diversity out so that you can look at the true abilities of a person versus what they look like or how they dress or how they shake your hand and all those other types of things or what their gender or identity group is. So we are happy to announce that we'll be making sure that we are supporting diversity and inclusion in several different ways, that we want to make sure that we are globally aligned with the corporate diversity and inclusion strategy, and that we use this as one of our hallmark programs. We want to make sure that there's awareness and education for employees to make sure we know how we are using diversity and inclusion, how that we can change as an organization and change as individuals, how we want to make sure we have an external presence with our D&I strategy, how we're looking at business opportunities, and how we're conducting activities to gather the employee perspective, making sure that everyone has a voice and that no one feels that they're left out. So, without further ado, we have 5 new programs that we will launch that officially kick off today. These are our 5 associate resource groups that we will be looking, and we'll send out communications after this event to solicit volunteers and to solicit participation in these ARGs. So our first 5 that we're going to launch under D&I is going to be women in the workplace, persons with disabilities, cultural diversity, LGBTQI, which is our Pride ARG, and single parents, okay? So other countries may have race, right? We don't have that much race diversity in our organization, so it doesn't make sense to have race in the Philippines. But we feel that we have good representation of population in these 5. Would you agree? Women, would you agree? Yes. People with disabilities, our LGBTQ community, yes. And then single parents, right? We know that, and again, the purpose of these ARGs is not just to include people that are members of these identity groups, but also people who are our allies and that support these groups as well. It also is available for associates to join. So you do not have to be an LGBTQI member, right, to join this ARG. You do not have to have a disability to join the ARG